Es martes por la noche. Tu programa de política e información social comienza ahora. It's Tuesday evening. Your award-winning political and information show. Listen to me starts now. Me, the award-winning show, September 25th. Septiembre 25. Bueno, hoy yo estoy, mira, con el t-shirt. Tenemos el t-shirt. A sacarlo ahí mismo. Lo estamos vendiendo bien carito para que los liberales lloren. Lo estamos vendiendo 25 pesos para que después digan que nosotros no creemos en el capitalismo. Bueno, este es Jay Rodríguez. Yo estoy aquí en tu show que te dice todas las verdades que los liberales no quieren que tú escuches porque lloran como unos nenes. Es más, siguen llorando, imagínate. Mira, es mi monólogo y aquí vamos por aquí. Well, people are trying to derail Judge Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court. El juez Kavanaugh lo están acusando de algo que él hizo 30 años atrás, cuando él estaba en escuela superior. Y los liberales brincan y saltan que tenemos que investigarlo, que el FBI tiene que investigarlo, que el tipo es un depredador sexual peor que Bill Cosby, que por cierto lo van a mandar para la cárcel por 3 años, porque yo creo que a 81 años no va a aguantar 10 años, porque imagínate, no va a salir a los 91. Y yo dudo que sus abogados traten a una persona de 81 años a más de 3 años de cárcel. Eso va a salir a los 83, si sale. Y es malo también porque es que, tú sabes, él era el America's Dad. Pero, ay, virgen. Esos son otros 20 pesos, como dice mi amigo. Volviendo al juez. Esta señora lo acusa de acoso sexual hace 30 años atrás. ¿Ustedes se acuerdan de Monica Lewinsky? Do you guys remember Monica Lewinsky? Y muchos liberales brincan y saltan y me dicen, Jay, pero eso pasó hace 10 años. Y yo digo, ok, liberales sin mente y sin cabeza, pero lo que le pasó al juez Kavanaugh pasó hace 30 años. So, no quieren acordarse de lo que pasó hace 10 años atrás con Monica Lewinsky y Bill Clinton, pero quieren acordarse lo que pasó con un juez que alegadamente pasó, porque vuelvo y te repito, no hay testigos, no hay forma de comprobar esto después de 30 años. How can you prove something after 30 years? You know, Bill Cosby was accused of something he did in 2004. Bill Cosby lo acusaron de algo que pasó en el 2014. Estamos en el 2018, ¿me entiendes? Hay cosas que sí pueden tener jurisprudencia. Pero ¿cómo tú vas a tratar de descarrilar a un juez porque es simplemente un nominado del presidente Trump? No se puede hacer las cosas así. Nosotros no somos los Estados Unidos no somos como Venezuela. Nosotros no somos como Nicaragua. Los Estados Unidos no somos como Cuba. Usted tiene que comprobar que la evidencia es preponderante al peso de la acusación. Y no, como que no cuadra. No cuadra. Y seguiríamos informando en cositas. Yo estoy aquí buscando en Facebook, en las medios sociales, a Héctor Travieso, que siempre dice unas cositas bien chéveres. Me disculpan. Se supone que tenía una gente hoy, pero como que ni me llamaron. Oye, eso es otra cosa. A ti no te revienta cuando tú tienes una cita con alguien y después no te llaman, no te contestan las llamadas, no te devuelven las llamadas, ni por WhatsApp, ni por Facebook, ni por Messenger, ni por nada de eso. Y después te van a decir, mira, fue que estaba en la corte. Hasta las 7 de la noche tú estuviste en la corte. Por favor. No me venga con vasofiadas, por favor. Anyway, esos son otros 20 pesos y después yo la quemo después bajando. No hay problema. No hay problema, pero déjame buscar esto un momentito. Para disque. Y vamos a ver lo que dice mi amigo Héctor Travieso, porque aunque él está allá en Puerto Rico, dice muchas cosas de verdad. I want to say hello to everybody. Next week we're going to have, es el día después de Columbus Day. Vamos a tener a Susan, candidate for District 4, que she's locked in a very tight race with Maribel Cordero. So we're going to see something what's going on. So we're going to see. Vamos a escuchar a Héctor Travieso unas declaraciones después del año del huracán María. This is Héctor Travieso. He's a Cuban American who lives in Puerto Rico, and we're going to see what he has to say after the 1-year anniversary of Maria. Let's go and check this out. All right, here we go.
Me han llamado para que me exprese sobre el primer año, el aniversario del huracán María que devastó a la isla, pero de punta a punta. Y voy a hacerle o darle un consejito, mejor dicho, a algunos miembros de programas por ahí donde dicen que se está celebrando el primer año de María. Nosotros no tenemos nada que celebrar, coño. ¿Qué tenemos que celebrar nosotros si se destruyó la isla, si se afectó la mente de todos los puertorriqueños, si hemos perdido billones de dólares? Si hemos perdido cientos de miles de hermanos que se han ido fuera de Puerto Rico y este país ha perdido 5 o 6 mil negocios que nunca más volverán a abrir. ¿Qué tenemos que celebrar? Se conmemora, y perdonen que hable así, se conmemora un año de una de las tragedias más grandes que ha vivido este país. Yo la viví en carne propia. Yo tuve pérdidas en mi apartamento por más de $12,000 y no he recibido ni un solo centavo del seguro. Así que no tengo nada que celebrar. Solamente tengo que decir esto. Que Dios nos ayude y no vuelva a ocurrir otro huracán, ni siquiera categoría 1, porque este gobierno no está preparado para eso. Y le recuerdo al pueblo de Puerto Rico, a mi pueblo que tanto me quiere, los desastres naturales que causan daño no se pueden evitar, pero los malos gobiernos, sí. Los quiero mucho.
We're back with we're back now, and this is kind of strange because it kind of ties into what Donald Trump said in some radio interview, but we're gonna go back. Okay, Héctor Travieso habla unos puntos muy importantes. Dicen que vamos a celebrar el año del paso del huracán María. Do you really celebrate, or do you commemorate? Because I wouldn't celebrate the fact that we lost thousands of lives, that we lost thousands of businesses, that we lost hundreds of thousands of people that have migrated from Puerto Rico to the United States. And again, they say, los independentistas, the pro-independence says that if we want statehood, we should move to one of the 50 states and just go. Why? You know, Puerto Rico is so much ours as it's so much theirs. Los independentistas no tienen una patria potestad sobre la propiedad de Puerto Rico o lo que es el territorio de Puerto Rico. I'm sorry. You're not more Puerto Rican than me. I like to sing Qué Bonita Bandera just as much as you do. Y me gusta Roy Brown y me gustan muchas otras canciones que hablan sobre Puerto Rico y su belleza. That sings about Puerto Rican beauty and its history and its heritage. That I wanted to become a state is very much different. And we're going to get into that. Héctor Travieso habla sobre que no podemos celebrar gobiernos malos. We cannot celebrate bad government in Puerto Rico. And unfortunately, that's what's going on. Not because of the governor. I do think that Ricky Rosselló is one of the most humblest and honest governors that has been given and dealt a bad hand from previous administrations. Both pro-colonial and both pro-statehood. And we're going to get that in details because we're going to hear it from the mouth of the 45th president of the United States, you know?
I will be
Okay, Donald. All right, I understand.
Look, I'm really rich.
I understand that too, Donald, but that's not the point. We're talking about Puerto Rico. So, come on. Give me a break, Mr. President. So, yo lo que te estoy diciendo es que en Puerto Rico ya no es una materia de política. It is not a matter of politics. And people do not want to understand it. It is not a matter of what is being done by the resident commissioner, Jennifer Gonzalez, and the governor of Puerto Rico, Jennifer Gonzalez, which is a Republican, and Ricardo Rosselló, which is a Democrat. But we cannot be playing politics with 3.3 million American citizens in the brink of a humanitarian crisis. Okay? It is a matter of humanitarian crisis. Or you think it's not true? It is. CNN, fake news CNN, made a documentary about 1 year of Maria. And all they did was to interview pro-colonial and pro-independence fractions that have lost their political franchise in more than 7 political election cycles. God rest his soul, Anthony Bourdain even made a special in Puerto Rico. And he also spoke to fractions that were political activists of the left and socialists that were ecological protesters and activists, but they had a socialist agenda. If you listen to, and you could go, and it's on your, if you have cable, you have on demand, if you have satellite, well, I hope you have the DVR. You could go into your DVR and you could check it out. It's true, it's there. If you think that I'm not saying the truth, come on. Show me with facts and points where am I failing. And I'll be humble enough to say that I'm wrong, and we'll correct it and we'll go forward. But you go to Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, and they did a documentary where they spoke to only leftist side. The only documentary that CNN did was the 1 year anniversary of Maria, where they sat down and they spoke to the governor of Puerto Rico. And the governor of Puerto Rico said very passionately that it's because of the colonial clause. He didn't blame Trump. He didn't blame anybody else. He blamed that the fact is that Puerto Rico is a colony of the United States without voice nor vote in the United States Senate nor in the United States House of Representatives. That's the truth. We do not have the tools. Until we have the tools to be able to deal with our problems through lobbying in Congress, in the United States Senate, and the United States House of Representatives, we will not be able to be in the right path to correct our economic problems, to correct the corruption, to correct our infrastructures, to correct our roads, to correct our educations, to correct our social services, to correct our public safety issues. Housing. Everything that's happening in Puerto Rico is because of the fact that we are a colony. It is funny that in the same documentary that that CNN publishes, the governor of Puerto Rico sticks it and says it is because of the colonial and territorial situation that Puerto Rico is in. And when the segment cuts from that, it goes to a totally different situation in the documentary. It's like CNN, MSNBC, they want to use Puerto Rico for political purposes. Yes, Puerto Rico, Maria, you guys, it's Trump's fault. Blah, 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 blah. But they don't want to say that Puerto Rico should be a state. Not even if they give them $100,000 million. They avoid the issue of Puerto Rico and talking about Puerto Rican statehood like the plague. They will yell that Puerto Rico has a right and we should help Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico will stand up, and Puerto Rico this and Puerto Rico that. Oh, how about Puerto Rican statehood? Oh, let's go to a commercial. Why? Telemundo, Univisión. ¿Por qué ustedes no abogan porque Puerto Rico sea estado? TV Azteca, Mega TV. ¿Por qué ustedes no hacen documentales sobre las posibilidades de que Puerto Rico sea un estado? Con representación en el Congreso americano, tanto en el Senado como en la Cámara de Representantes. No es una situación tan difícil. Mira. Vamos a ir por la tangente. Let's go through the tangent. Many people have been saying that Puerto Rico has too many crises and that the United States should just cut its losses, cut the umbilical cord, and let Puerto Rico sink. I don't think that's the route the United States will take. Right now, the United States is in a quagmire of trying to deal with another territory that wants to become a state. When was the last time this happened? Why? Can people remember what happened? Can historians tell me what happened to Florida when in 1848 Florida became a state? Where do you think terms like cracker came from? It wasn't from the same people of Florida, pardoning my using that word. It was people that didn't want Florida to become a state, and they came up with these words. Doesn't it seem kind of the same? But the liberals want to try and turn things around. Los liberales están tan enfocados, los mismos liberales que crearon el Ku Klux Klan, la segregación, los certificados de matrimonio para ver con quién rayo te casaba, porque en el pasado, antes del 70, no podía casarse una mujer blanca con un hombre negro y viceversa. O latino, que era medio negrito, o jabao. Además de la creación del Ku Klux Klan, que ahora están diciendo que el Partido Demócrata no tuvo nada que ver con la creación del Ku Klux Klan. Falso. Si se sabe que la mayoría de los gobernadores demócratas, de los senadores demócratas, de los representantes en la Cámara de Representantes del Congreso demócratas, eran miembros militantes del Ku Klux Klan. Senadores que eran un senador que murió, lo pueden buscar. Senators that were the senator that was a mentor for Hillary Clinton was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Why do you think that the Democrats want to destroy every monument from the Ku Klux Klan era from the Civil War, especially the Confederates? ¿Alguien me puede decir? ¿Alguien me puede refutar? ¿Algún liberal que quiera hablar? Darren Soto, Val Demings, Stephanie Murphy. ¿Tú sabes lo que ellos dicen? Ese era el Partido Demócrata del pasado. Ok. Y en 1970, y en los 73, cuando el presidente Lyndon B. Johnson hizo programas de titulación, entitlement programs, para dárselo a los negros y a los latinos. What happened with the welfare counties and boroughs in New York, where thousands and thousands of Latinos and African Americans, after centuries of receiving entitlements, and they voted Democrats, and they voted Democrat, and they voted Democrat. I may be out of line, but that's short of almost buying votes. We'll give you all this money. We'll give you free housing. We'll give you free money. We'll give you free food stamps. Just vote Democrat. Thing is that after so many decades of that meant much entitlement, African Americans are going like, what? And especially with the slap in the face that Barack Obama gave them, because he's not living in Chicago anymore. He visits Chicago now. He doesn't live in Chicago. He doesn't live in Illinois. He lives in Washington, D.C., where now he's stumping for Democratic candidates because they're paying him. He's not doing it for free. That's not the definition of a career politician or taking advantage of your past role. I do not know. No past president in the history of the United States is doing what Barack Obama did. They may have gone to one or two fundraisers, meet and greets, but what Barack Obama is doing, delusionally saying that he has fixed the economy, and that Trump is the one doing it.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.
You know, Donald Trump said it himself. He is doing what the people elected him to do, and that is why people are so mad. Ahora, this is what irks me a bit. They want to try and turn things that the president has said and turn it around. So, in this nominated show for the Paoli Awards, which is in December 2nd, make sure you buy your tickets. Go to paoliawards.com and vote for Listen to Me. It's there in the website. www.paoliawards.com. Click on the best music, go to down all the way, and it's best radio show on TV, online, and it's Listen to Me. Have any questions? Go. But we did our research. And a good friend of ours, Geraldo Rivera, you remember the Al Capone vaults and all that stuff that he did the pay-per-view and then all that? Well, he's also a Fox contributor. He has this new show in WTAM 1100 AM in Cleveland, News Radio Cleveland. And WTAM, he has a show called Geraldo in Cleveland. He started this show. This show went out on the 24th of September. And who he had? He had the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created. Look, I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
There it is. And he doesn't wear a toupee. It's his real hair. It is his real hair. So, we're going to listen to the 45th President of the United States in an exchange with Geraldo Rivera on Geraldo Rivera's show, Geraldo in Cleveland. This was his inaugural show. I do recommend this show, Geraldo Rivera, and you could go to iHeartRadio and search WTAM and go for the podcast and look up Geraldo in Cleveland. I highly suggest it. So let's go and see what's going on with Geraldo and President Donald Trump. And then after the 7 minutes, we're going to come back. Voy a traducir lo que está pasando con la conversación del presidente Donald Trump y Geraldo Rivera en su programa radial de Geraldo in Cleveland. Porque mucha gente está diciendo que el presidente Trump dijo no a la estadidad. And I think they're taking things out of context. Están tomando las palabras fuera de contexto. Vamos a escucharlo en sus propias palabras con Geraldo Rivera aquí en exclusiva de Listen to Me.
Meant in a very deep way because, you know, my dad was one of 17 children. My goodness, I have scores of relatives. I was with you and the First Lady in Puerto Rico. And then to see how people blamed you for the power outage, never mentioning the corrupt utility there, the public utility, the inept, the fact they were bankrupt. I mean, Do you want to respond to the critics of the response
Sure.
to Hurricane Maria? Go ahead, Mr.
Sure.
President.
Let me just respond by saying, number one, it starts with you have the mayor of San Juan who's incompetent. They should never be there. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a totally incompetent person. You have, as you know, locally they did a very, very poor job.
Le metió a Carmen Yulín ahí.
Broken before the storms. It got hit by 2 storms, not one.
Right, Irma knocked out 70%. Right.
We started going in, and by the time we got there, we had to, make all sorts of provision to get out because the second storm was right on top of the first one, and the second storm hit dead zero, right smack. I mean, you couldn't have designed it any better if you were looking for trouble.
It was horrible.
It was a perfect, it was a perfect hit, and really a horrible hit. And it was one of the biggest storms that they've seen in years, and certainly the biggest storm that Puerto Rico's ever seen. So what happens is the electric plant was bankrupt. This is before the storms hit. For many years, it was bankrupt. It was in receivership. It didn't work. They had no electric. It was an obsolete old plant that didn't work, and people didn't have electric on the island, or if they were lucky, they'd have 30 and 35%. It was a disaster. Now the storms hit, and to build that is a big deal. It takes years. It takes a long time to build it and to fix it. But it was in receivership. It was a total mess. It was corrupt. Couldn't be worse. The storms hit, and they said, let's blame Trump for the electric. Let's have Trump fix the electric plant, which takes a long time. Got to rebuild it, which is a big deal. Let's blame Trump for everything. And we did a great job. I did a great job in Texas. I did a great job in Florida. I'm now doing a great job in South Carolina and North Carolina. You see that.
I say terrible.
Well, we did just as good a job in Puerto Rico, if not better in a sense.
But let me ask you this about Puerto Rico.
Let me just say, it was a very tough situation because you're surrounded by ocean. You can't drive trucks in. You have to ship, you put everything on ships. It's a very big deal. We did a great job. And just to finish on the death count, I left, and the official number was in all the newspapers even recently. The official number that I left, and I was about 10 days after the storm, was 16 people had died. The 16 people was then lifted a couple of months later to 64, and that was the official number. And that was it, and that's terrible. That's a loss of life. And I love Puerto Rican people. I love
Gracias.
Puerto Rico. You know that, Puerto Rican. I love you, right? But I have a great feeling for the spirit. They have incredible spirit. Okay. It was 64 people. And then all of a sudden, I read a report many, many months later, long time later, that they did a report, 3,000 people died. I said, wait a minute, you went from 16 to 64. We did a great job. And then you went from 64 to 3,000? How did that happen? And they couldn't explain it. And if you read that report, it's not explainable.
In fairness,
for FEMA.
Right.
I was fighting for the military, and I was fighting for the first responders, and all of the people that did such a great job in Puerto Rico. But the truth is you have incompetent leadership, and the mayor of San Juan is a grossly incompetent person. We would deliver supplies, and you have to study what she did with those supplies, because when you find out what she was doing with the stuff, we can only deliver it to locations. They have to distribute it. When you find out what she did with those supplies, you will be shocked. It was disgraceful.
You said to me down in Puerto Rico that you were exploring the option of allowing Puerto Rico to declare bankruptcy and default on the $75 billion in debt. You said that my friends on Wall Street were going to take a hit. Are you still contemplating allowing Puerto Rican bankruptcy?
They are taking a hit. But, the power plant and the power, as I said, was absolutely a disaster for many years.
But will you let Puerto Rico default?
Nothing to do with President Trump, by the way.
Nothing to do with President Trump.
When the storms hit and the powers, the same disaster, it was not even worse, other than the wires were torn, but the plant itself was not even that much worse, but it was so bad. They like to say, it was Trump. It wasn't Trump.
It wasn't
Our
Trump.
people did it incredible. Geraldo, we floated in a massive, the largest in the world. We floated in a hospital, and we had a hospital ship. The military hospital ship. It's the biggest in the world. It was incredible. I saw that ship. It was incredible. We did things that nobody could have done.
But what about defaulting on the bonds? I want to nail you. I want to get this down. Will you let them default on these billions in bonds?
I don't want to talk about that. That's a financial situation. I don't want to talk about it. But I would certainly not want to be helping Wall Streeters that financed the plant that was underwater,
right,
and various other things.
How about statehood for Puerto Rico? Isn't that the only way to really fix it?
Nobody's mentioned that recently to me. Nobody's mentioned it.
Hold on. Estoy en el aire, ¿verdad? Hold on. Esta es la pieza clave del testimonio. We're gonna hear this again. Vamos a escuchar esto. Mira la pregunta.
Was underwater,
right,
and various other
things.
How about statehood for Puerto Rico? Isn't that the only way to really fix it?
Nobody's mentioned that recently to me.
Nadie me ha dicho nada de eso recientemente. Quiero traducirlo porque él no está diciendo que no, le está diciendo que no a la estadidad. Es que nadie le ha dicho nada recientemente. Ten pendiente que vamos a regresar a ese comentario. Vamos a seguir el resto de la entrevista, por favor. We're going to continue. It's that part right there where he said that nobody has said anything to him. As a matter of fact, let's go back and let's listen to it again, and let's listen to the rest of the interview.
How about statehood for Puerto Rico? Isn't that the only way to really fix it?
Nobody's mentioned that recently to me. Nobody's mentioned it recently.
How do you feel about it?
I'll tell you this. With the mayor of San Juan, as bad as she is and as incompetent as she is, Puerto Rico shouldn't be talking about statehood until they get some people that really know what they're doing.
She's running for governor.
If you have good leadership, Geraldo, that certainly could be something they talk about. But with people like that involved in Puerto Rico, I would be an absolute no. If you had people like the mayor of San Juan, whatever her name may be, she is a horror show. She was so bad and so disrespectful to our military, to our first responders, and to our great FEMA people who did a phenomenal job. The distribution of food was so horribly handled by the representatives on the island. They really did a horrible job. And the electric, you talk about press, the electric was dead for years. And if you look at it, they blame Trump for the election.
So you're hurt. I could feel the hurt in your voice, Evan, the way you were treated.
Because I love the people of Puerto Rico, and I did a great job. I did an extra I got things to Puerto Rico that nobody could have gotten. They had so much water, they didn't know what to do with it. The problem is the local people they didn't know how to distribute the water. The truck drivers didn't show up to work. The taxi drivers didn't show up to work. Now, in all fairness, they were trying to save their
own families, right?
But still, they didn't have. So we had to send truck drivers onto the island. We had to send taxi drivers onto the island. We had to do things that nobody's ever done before. We did, and instead of getting thank you, we got nothing but bad publicity. And I'll tell you what, I got an A+ in Texas and an A+ in Florida. We did more work, and in a certain way, just as good. Can't do much better, but what happened is the local representatives, in particular the mayor of San Juan, was incompetent, and they didn't know what to do once it came there. You ought to take a look at what that woman did.
I was there. So let me go with the stateside politics again.
Ok. Bueno, pues ya lo escucharon de boca del presidente. Eso fue lo que causó el revuelo. Nosotros llamamos a la oficina de Jennifer González para una opinión sobre lo que dijo el presidente Trump sobre Puerto Rico hasta estos momentos en redacción de Listen to Me, the award-winning show Listen to Me. No recibió respuesta de la comisionada residente Jennifer González ni del gobernador de Puerto Rico sobre lo que el señor Trump dijo. Lo que nosotros pudimos alegar fue verlo en los medios sociales, que el gobernador dijo que la postura de la estadidad no podía ser puesta a través de algunos políticos corruptos. En eso yo le doy la verdad. La comisionada residente dijo también que la misma postura de que por unos políticos corruptos no se podía poner en tela de juicio 3.3 ciudadanos americanos. Pero mi postura what I didn't hear from Governor Rosselló nor Resident Commissioner Jennifer Gonzalez is to the part where the president says that he has not heard anything. See, that's, I'm not a fanatic. I'm a proud member of the Republican Party. And I support President Trump in the vast majority of things that he's done. But when he makes that statement that no one has mentioned to him recently about statehood to Puerto Rico, well, then it forces me as a communicator to do some investigating. So I sent a letter to the White House, an email. And in the email in the White House, I asked him to clarify what did he mean by not hearing anything recently, because I know for a fact that Jennifer Gonzalez, the resident commissioner of Puerto Rico, has placed into Congress an admission bill of Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican admission bill for statehood. So if somebody could educate me between the legislative branch and the executive branch, there ain't any briefings of new bills that are coming into the cycle. And one of these was one of those bills. There's not people that is there a drop the ball in somewhere where somebody has not informed President Trump, hey, we're trying to become a state? Didn't we hear the governor of Puerto Rico in a luncheon with the president of the United States going back and forth where the president said, well, Governor Rosselló, can you guarantee me 2 Republican senators? Again, I am not a fanatic. And I have to kind of question the president right now. Dear President Donald J. Trump, your comments that you have not heard anything about Puerto Rico statehood, does that mean that you need something further from Congress? You need to clarify this, coming from the executive branch. And I know that you're a man that walks to your own tune and to your own music, and I'm okay with that. Hell, I made the show with the premise of walking to my own horn and to my own music. So I could applaud you for that. But to the fact that you're saying that you have not heard anything, que tú no has escuchado nada recientemente sobre la estadidad de Puerto Rico, we have to kind of investigate it a little bit more. Tenemos que investigarlo un poquito más. Tenemos que oír sinceramente de la comisionada residente. Tenemos que hablarle con Miriam Ferrer, que la puede volverla a traer. Esta es una pieza clave. Tenemos que ver lo que dice el presidente después de estas declaraciones en Geraldo Rivera, en su programa inaugural. Pero ha causado un revuelo de que el presidente está en contra de la estadidad de Puerto Rico. No. Yo no creo que el presidente Donald J. Trump esté en contra de la estadidad de Puerto Rico. Él está en contra de la corrupción que existe ahora mismo, y él está en contra de Carmen Yulín, que yo también estoy en contra de Carmen Yulín. So I agree with him in that part. I don't like Carmen Yulín. I think she's a socialist, socialist governor candidate wannabe that wants to push Puerto Rico into the brink of starvation and socialism for her own gain. I agree with that. I also agree with the president that the lighting authority was in bankruptcy, insolvency, even before Irma and Maria hit Puerto Rico. That the government of Puerto Rico, the past governments of Puerto Rico, thought that junk bonds and that this was not going to be a bubble that would burst, and they could keep on going for years to come, and that there were no consequences to their actions. That senators within the government of Puerto Rico, like Abel Nazario and Anaudi, that were getting caught for corruption. ¿Cómo? ¿Qué pasó?
No, a ver,
All right. You know? So, yeah, you know, so we know that in Puerto Rico there's corruption. We know in Puerto Rico that there's bad, corrupt politicians and bad politicians. But we need the tools of statehood. Even Gerardo Rivera said it. They need the tools of statehood to be able to solve we need it. Do we need to be more vocal so they could hear us in the White House? I do agree there. Because if the President of the United States is saying that he has not heard it recently, it's because high-level officials of the Puerto Rican government has not been telling Mr. Trump in a daily basis, I guess he has to hear it in a daily basis, that Puerto Ricans want to become a state. That we have elected to become a state in 2012 and 2016. That we're done with all the elections and all the plebiscites that we could have. We want admission to the United States now. We cannot wait any longer. Or you want to have to send the National Guard to be able to take over Puerto Rico prisons because, sincerely, policemen are not getting paid. Teachers from the United States to come teach in Puerto Rican schools because the teachers are not getting paid. They're leaving. You know what would be the oxymoron? That teachers in Puerto Rico leave to go to Florida, come here to Florida to come and get paid to go back to Puerto Rico to teach. That's going to be the oxymoron. And you know that I'm telling you the truth. Puerto Ricans have already voted twice. 1 and 2. Twice, Mr. President. And I know you listen to me. I know that you can't listen to me live, but I know that you've gone to my Facebook page and you've gone to my YouTube page, BBN Info, and you've seen past programs. And you'll see this one too. And I've agreed with you in a majority of things, but you have not really heard about Puerto Rican statehood recently. Really? Really? What we can't do is politicize Puerto Rico. We have to solve situations in Puerto Rico. Whether Puerto Rico is under a Democrat governor or a Republican governor, it has always been the same. It has been a whimper. I think I understand what the president is saying when he has not heard recently about Puerto Rican independence, about Puerto Rican statehood. Because what he's getting in his ears is all these people like Lin Miranda and all other Hispanics, liberals, pro-socialists, that Puerto Rico wants to become an independent nation. When the Independence Party has lost its franchise for the past 7 election cycles. I bet you that's what the president has heard more often. And whose fault is that? It's our fault. It's every Puerto Rican that is listening to me, men and women. Unfortunately, it's every Puerto Rican living in the island. It's every Puerto Rican living in New York. It's every Puerto Rican family living in Chicago, in Montana, in Texas, in Nevada, California, South Carolina, Georgia. In every of the 50 states where there is a Puerto Rican family, it's our fault. Because we don't pick up the phone, we don't write an email, because we're too busy trying to put food in the table, trying to help our families. And when we are trying to help our families, we're forgetting of our brothers and sisters in the island, the 3.3 American citizens that really need our help. It's people like Peter Vivaldi who raised their voice. people like Bob Cortez, Gus Martinez, and many more, to just name a few names. Miriam Ferrer. We have to make noise. We heard it from the president. He's not against statehood. He's against inept and corrupt people that are probably a stumbling block to help make Puerto Rico a state. He's given us a blueprint. What I just don't agree is that I don't think he hasn't heard it recently. I think the way the man thinks, he's trying to light a fire in our pants. But we have to understand which right fire to light. And it's the fire to make noise, to make marches, to write letters, to write emails, to make phone calls, to talk to your neighbors, talk to your congressmen, talk to your senators, to the people in the federal level. Even when they tell you that they don't have time to explain things, like Congressman Val Demings, you tell her, Congressman Val Demings, I am sorry that you think that I'm an ignorant, but I'm not. I want you to do more. There is not a strategy to make Puerto Rico a state. There is a necessity. There is not a political strategy that we need to make Puerto Rico a state. It is a civil right issue of 3.3 million American citizens that need their voice heard in the United States Senate, in the United States Congress. And to my Republican brothers and sisters of other states, this is not an issue to play around with the lives of 3.3 American citizens. It is the time to act. It is the time to make noise. It is time to march. It is time to write. It is time to speak up. We've been a voice in the dark for too long. We need to pray to God and find our strength. But we need to do this for our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico. Because if we could help our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico to attain the equality you and I have achieved by moving to any of the states of these United States, you will understand the dire necessities that have to be implemented into Puerto Rico so Puerto Rico could renegotiate its debt. President Trump said it. Look, they say that he didn't want to talk about bankruptcy because it was a financial problem. Yes, it's a financial problem, because when Puerto Rico becomes a state, we will have the abilities to renegotiate our financial problems without an oversight board. We could tell the oversight board goodbye, because there will be a bankruptcy judge that will take care of it, and they will be able to renegotiate. We will have 2 senators. We will have 6 congressmen, representatives in Congress, in the House of Representatives, that could lobby tax incentives similar to La 936, the 936 tax incentives that were so famous in the 60s and 70s, that brought a boom to Puerto Rico. The blueprint is there. We just need the representation and the equality in Congress so Puerto Rico could thrive. Imagine, again, I've said it time and time again, the great state of Puerto Rico and the great state of Florida forming a union that has been made in our history from hundreds and hundreds of years. But going back from Juan Ponce de Leon, when Puerto Rico and Florida were part of the Spanish Empire. Can you imagine the magnitude of impact? Do you see why the Democrats, the Socialist Democrats, and the Liberal Democrats do not want Puerto Rico to become a state? Do you understand why we have to be loud? We have to make noise. Una de las cosas que habló el presidente fue lo como encontraron el agua. Salud, mi hermano. Hablaron sobre millones y millones y millones de botellas, pero ¿por qué no encontraron cómo distribuirlo? ¿Verdad, Miguel? Eso sería es una pregunta de los 64,000 chavitos. ¿Por qué no encontraron por qué distribuirlo? Porque los mercaderes estaban vendiendo agua y no querían quitarle el mercado a esa gente tratando de venderle agua. I understand it. But still people needed the water. Había gente que se estaba muriendo por dehydration. Se estaban deshidratando. Y millones de galones de agua ahí perdidos, botellas y botellas y botellas. El presidente también habló sobre lo que hizo Carmen Yulín con los suministros. ¿Por qué no hablan de los unionados, los tronquistas unionados que no querían trabajar antes de que... Ellos querían que se les pagara primero antes de distribuir la comida? ¿Y por qué no hablan de ese bochinche? Porque estuve en las noticias y después, mira, murió. No, pero era culpa del presidente Trump. Pero los tronquistas no tuvieron ninguna culpa. Mi gente, si no había transportación para llevar los suministros, ¿cómo rayos se lo iba? ¿Quería que Trump bajara y se lo montara en el lomo y siguiera caminando? Por favor. Él mismo lo dijo que él quería y amaba a la gente de Puerto Rico. Él en ningún momento ha dicho que odia a los puertorriqueños. Dicho ahí mismo, la prueba está ahí. Deben una prueba. Los liberales deben una prueba de que Trump odia a los puertorriqueños. Es más, en las noticias hubo hasta un hombre de Texas que pagó para que una niña que fue atropellada en las Islas Vírgenes, en otras islas, que tuvo un accidente, para llevarla de esas islas a Puerto Rico para que la trataran. Y hay gente del Partido Independentista que se atreve a decir que a los americanos no quieren a los puertorriqueños. Hombre, la gente local en Puerto Rico no supo cómo distribuir las ayudas. Eso no lo tuvimos que escuchar del presidente Trump. ¿Ustedes se acuerdan del famoso documental del año de María de CNN News? Búsquenlo. Está ahí. CNN News, 1 Year Anniversary of Maria. Búsquenlo. ¿Sabes lo que dice? Dicen que había un tirijala entre el gobierno federal y el gobierno estatal en quién tenía la culpa. Te estaban tirando la papa caliente para atrás y para adelante, para atrás y para adelante, para atrás y para adelante. En los suministros y en las muertes. Porque Trump dice que primero fue 16, 64 y 3,000. Está bien, el gobernador dice que cuando pasó María, pasó y arrancó todo. Ok, la comunicación estaba mala. Nunca sabremos si esas 3,000 muertes, que Dios los bendiga y las tenga en la gloria, fueron realmente relacionados con María o murieron por proceso natural o por accidentes ajenos a María. Nunca lo sabremos. Nunca lo sabremos. Vamos a seguir investigando. Vamos a seguir investigando esta noticia, porque si el presidente dice que no ha escuchado nada recientemente, tenemos que tener unas declaraciones de la Cámara de Representantes de Jennifer González. Tenemos que escuchar de la fortaleza de Ricky Rosselló y decir, mira, tú puedes creer qué se ha hecho, demuéstrame las pruebas. El presidente está hablando algo que no es, pues demuéstrame las pruebas. Y no estamos hablando del suministro de la propuesta de ley de la admisión de Puerto Rico, porque eso él tiene que saberlo. Yo estoy hablando recientemente, desde septiembre 25 en adelante. Y tenemos que hacer ruido. Tenemos que hacer llamada. Tenemos que hacer marcha. So Gus Martínez, Peter Vivaldi, Miriam Ferrer, Bob Cortez. Bob, que tú tienes el oído del futuro gobernador de Florida, en Ron DeSantis. Y también tú tienes el oído del futuro senador Rick Scott. ¿Qué podemos hacer? ¿Cuáles son tus sugerencias para hacer ruido? My brother Gary Berríos, Pastor Gary Berríos. Vamos a iluminar las iglesias con luces nocturnas y pancartas que digan statehood for Puerto Rico now. We're Mr. President, do you hear us now? Tenemos que hacerlo con todo el respeto hacia el presidente. Yo sé que los liberales lo van a coger como si fuese una bolsa de papas y van a tratar de hacer mella, pero no. Nosotros los republicanos estadistas puertorriqueños tenemos que levantarnos. Es hora, patriota. Es hora para la estadidad jíbara. Es hora de levantarnos y que nos escuchen nuestra voz como lo quería don Luis A. Ferré. Con pasión y amor vamos a tratar de buscar esa estadidad jíbara. Porque no es algo que nos compete a nosotros. Nos compete a nuestros hermanos, nuestras hermanas en Puerto Rico, 3.3 millones de ciudadanos americanos que no tienen voz ni voto en el Congreso americano. Nosotros los puertorriqueños que vivimos, los 4.3 millones de puertorriqueños que vivimos dentro de los Estados Unidos, sí tenemos voz y voto en nuestros respectivos estados. Tenemos senadores, tenemos congresistas que podemos hablar con ellos, escribirle, llamarle, visitar las oficinas locales con prudencia y con gentileza y con profesionalismo y hacerle ruido y decirle, díganle al presidente Donald J. Trump que Puerto Rico quiere ser estado. Mis hermanos, mis hermanas, es un momento crucial para Puerto Rico. Hay que hacer el voz, hay que alzar la voz, hay que buscar, hay que hablar con tus vecinos, hay que hablar con tus doctores, maestros, los que van cuando vas a la iglesia, y alzar la voz y hacer ruido. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to make noise. We have to look for that statehood that Puerto Rico needs to be able to fix itself. Because without it, things will get worse. My name is JJ Rodriguez. This is the edition of Listen to Me. God bless. Que Dios me los bendiga. Los quiero mucho. Next week, we have Susan from District 3. We have, Susan from District 4. I'm sorry, yeah, District 4. We're going to try and get Pete Crotty from District 3. We're going to try and negotiate that and see how we can make that happen. I know Pete is very busy. We'll also have, see if we could get Mr. Wayne Lubinsky. I know he's having an uphill battle against Darren Soto, but we have to try and get Darren Soto out of there. It's just imperative that we get him out of there. All right, and much love and respect. Acuérdate, vos, vamos. Que Puerto Rico se levanta, pero con la estadidad. 51. Chao, love you. Listen to me.